Welcome to all of those who've joined us for tonight. And thank you very much to Sri Sri Tattva for hosting us. And I guess everybody knows who is Sri Sri Tattva. They've just, how do you say, promoting Ayurveda in all its way and selling all these beautiful herbs and ghee and whatnot. So we're very happy to be part of their talks. And I really want to introduce AMI. AMI is a service project under the umbrella of AHV in UK, which is a global platform for humanitarian initiatives that was founded by Goji in Geneva in 1997, last century. AMI's purpose is to spread the knowledge of Ayurveda's approach to good health for mothers and infants and create a very much needed city support teams, especially for postpartum care. So from 2015 until lockdown, we were holding yearly trainings for Ayurdulas in the International Art of Living Center in Quebec. Now AMI is developing online programs and both training Ayurdulas and also offering online do-it-yourself programs for families and all those who wish. So this webinar is really to introduce our team, each of whom will be talking about different aspects of program in the coming months. So they've all going to develop their program as it goes and be invited by Sri Sri Tattva for a regular monthly meeting, gathering. So I personally know these four speakers. Unfortunately, Vaidya Nitin Shah will not be able to take part of this because he's got family matters. And because it's a large group, I think I'm going to ask you to stay muted until we open the question for everybody after everybody's been speaking. So you'll be able to put your questions out on the chat and I will read them to the speakers. Okay? So I'm going to introduce you to the four speakers, four speakers. So Anne Revington, which I guess you all know, will be talking about preconception on the 26th of June. Anne has started the Art of Living Center, the Ayurvedic Center in the Art of Living ashram in Germany first, and then she was sent by Goji in Canada to do the same thing. Then the second speaker will be Sue Bowerman. Sue Bowerman will be speaking about, she'll be speaking in fact twice, once about conception and later on about the toddler's years. And the conception talk will happen on July 31st. Sue was qualified very early as by Maharishi Ayurveda in 1989, imagine. She's a full Ayurdula and she's co-founded AMI with Anne. Vaidya Priti Patel, our beautiful, pretty Vaidya, is going to talk about pregnancy on August 28th, and she'll be talking again on birth on September 5th. She graduated in India in 2004, and she's really an expert in pulse diagnosis and panchakarma. And actually, she's a very, very intuitive Vaidya. It's just wonderful to have her with us. Yeah. And the next person will be Wanda Kruzinska. And she specialized more into postpartum. So she'll be really talking about postpartum on October 23rd. She has 11 years of professional experience. And she started with Anne and myself in the Canadian ashram, just learning massage. And then she specialized more in postpartum and went to train with Dr. Ladd after that. And she has been and is supporting families in many parts of the world. So we are very happy to have her with us. So each team member will give a brief intro into themselves and why they are drawn to the subject, what makes them run for it. You'll see they're all totally passionate about what they're doing. And they will give an overview of the subject. So you might be interested to join the webinars with the dates that were given earlier. At some point, they'll have a few minutes to talk about all this, and then I'll ask them their favorite tips. So you can go home with something that's very useful for you, right? So every presentation is about 5 minutes. And so this is it, huh? So apart from Pretty and Sue, who both have twice 5 minutes, you'll have them 5 minutes with you. So this morning, sorry, I'm just out of subject. So I'm going to open the talk to Anne. I hope I can do this right. And I'm going to, there you go. Whoops. Where are you gone? And good, fantastic. Yeah. So here's Anne Revington, and I'm going to let you tell you why she wakes up in the morning and all she thinks about is mothers and baby, and she goes to night at bed and all she thinks is mothers and babies.
She's not far wrong. Okay, so this amazing Ayurvedic program hit me like a bullet in 2000. I was at the Canadian ashram. I just moved there actually, and we had a meeting of about 8 ladies all came together from all over the world. Sue Barman was there, and the late Isha Oakes was there. It hit me hard because I realized I had my own children in the late 60s and early 70s, and I realized I could have done so much better for them. I mean, I'm glad I have 3 healthy children, obviously, but I knew I could have done better, and I just wished I'd had that program. And then it became a passion for me to get it out to people. I thought people have got to know this. You know, it's really, really important, which is my driving force. It's taken a long time to come in 20 years, but I honestly think things come at the right time. And now, with the world changing so much, I think people are so much more aware of what's going on, and the program can blossom. We would perhaps have been pushing a heavy cart before then, but it's very, very lively now. There's many people coming into the program, many other groups forming, which we love to form contact with because that helps everything spread. And I work with a really great team that, you know, was speaking with me tonight. So I'm a happy womble. So I was speaking to a peri nurse this morning, funnily enough, and she said, it's so important this program gets out to people who can help families. She said, you know, occupational therapists and midwives and everybody need to know what this program's about, because it's got so much there to offer. And there's so many gaps in the health service in many countries that don't provide the help that women need now. I know Wanda will be talking about postpartum, and they call that the black hole of healthcare in England and in other countries too, which is a terrible thing to have to say. Yeah. When I had babies in the late 60s, early 70s, I hadn't a clue, to be honest. I hadn't a clue about babies. My husband had, thank God, because he'd come from a family of 7 boys and he was at the top, so he helped his mum a lot. So he knew a lot about them, which was a lifesaver for me. So it was really hard work, and there was nobody around then. It wasn't talked about a lot. We did what the professionals told us to do, and we got on with it. But there's so much more there that can really help. Now, my subject is the first part of it, which is preconception. And I think this is something that's not even now thought about at all. I mean, postpartum has come to be talked about in the last years, thank God, and people are waking up to the fact that women don't need to get depressed after pregnancy and childbirth. So what if we think about how we can go about producing the healthiest babies? I mean, most of us can produce babies very easily. How about if we look on how we can produce them really healthily so that they can really function really well in this world and not have strong immune systems, which they really need now, and can really blossom. And they can be such a strength for the world as well if they're like that, if they've got clear minds and a positive attitude to life. So that is my feeling that that's one of the real reasons why we need to get this program out. I really think our future generations deserve this, don't you? I think it's really important that children get the best from us. And when we think about having babies, why don't we think about preconception? What can we do before we conceive so that our bodies are balanced? That we can cleanse ourselves before we have a baby, so that we can produce, when we do conceive, we have the very best egg and sperm coming together at that moment in time, which is a great boon for that child. In Ayurveda, obviously, they have a full program of preconception, which includes looking at the doshas and seeing where the imbalances are in those doshas for each partner, not just the woman. It's great if only the woman wants to do it and the man doesn't, but it's much, much better if they both do it. So they can come together in a very, very clear, clean state and make a really good job of it, basically. For us, what we decided to do, I mean, in some ways, COVID has been a boon for us because it's really pushed us into doing online programs. And we're finding now that when families are responding to us about them. We've got a program now, a DIY program for preconception, where we support the mother and the father to find out their doshic types and to be able to adjust them and use diet and lifestyle and massage and all these things that Ayurveda has that bring us back into balance so quickly, to be able to get to that state where they can conceive with confidence that they're going to produce a really healthy child. What we have done with our programs is we've made sure that we have Vaidya's, Ayurvedic doctors there, so that they all have interviews at certain specific times in the programs to be able to talk to the doctor and find out, in detail, and they also feel they've got that support behind them. We as the AMI team also come into this because we do consultations through the program, like helping with diet in preconception. One of us will come on and at strategic points again and help them with the diet so they know they're on the right track. It can be a little bit daunting for people if they're different body types and they need a little bit of a different diet, but there we can help. And we're actually producing a cookery book for preconception at the moment. That's a seasonal book with lots of tips and lots of ways of adjusting recipes so that both partners can cope with a different emphasis on the diet so they both can become balanced. It's a beautiful way of going around things. I'm trying to think what else to say.
Well, maybe you would like to give a tip or two?
You know what this is, can I say this before I give the tip? One thing that's really important in preconception is that couples look at their relationship as well. It's not just the body, it's the mind and the spirit as well that are important. So we do consultations to help them overcome any obstacles that they have. Because what happens when a baby is conceived at that moment in time, it takes on the mental attitude of their parents.
Wait, don't steal my thunder.
Oh no, I won't say any more. All right, sorry, Sue. Right, I'm mum about that. There's a surprise coming up. Okay, but it is important that happens. So my special tip, because of all this, because we all know that the mind comes first, don't we? That the mind dictates the body, basically. Yeah, it's more important than the mind, than the body. So my special tip would be meditate. Meditate regularly, every day if you can. Make that a priority in your life, because you'll find that your mind becomes calm and becomes smooth. Your relationships ease out where there are spiky problems, which all relationships do have, and that you both cope a lot better with it. There's a more open, accepting relationship there between you, and the baby really benefits from that. Okay, that's my tip.
Okay, thank you, Anne.
Pleasure.
We'll hand the mic to Sue. Sue, can you talk? Are you okay?
Hello, everybody. And thank you once again to Sri Sri Tattva for hosting this introduction and the whole series of the AMI, preconception, conception, pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and the first couple of years of a child's life. So I will be talking about conception. So from the standpoint of Ayurveda, of course, Western medicine has got all sorts of wonderful ways, natural ways to look at when the ovulation is happening, to determine when is the best day to try to conceive a baby, or alternatively, if you don't want to have a baby, for contraception. And those two basic ways, according to Western medicine, is the ovulation temperature, the basal temperature when you first wake up. You take that every single day and you chart it, and you can see when there is a rise, then that's ovulation starting. And the other thing is the mucus secretions from the vagina. They become very different at different points of time during the monthly cycle. And you can also plot that and determine when is ovulation.
But you can speak a little bit louder, Sue.
I can get closer to the mic. I don't want you to see my mouth though. Is that better, Liz?
Yes.
All right. So, but from the standpoint of Ayurveda, what they want to do is, as Anne was saying, is most important that the couple is having a conscious conception, because we want to have a warm welcome to this baby. We want this soul to be wanted, to be loved, to be nourished, to be protected, and to have a safe, loving environment to come into. So for that reason, it is a sacred act. It is a beautiful act, and we want to have the atmosphere of that for that moment reflecting that. So, a lovely, clean atmosphere, lovely music, lovely smells, lovely, a beautiful environment, and an ambient environment that is welcoming for this new soul to come in and join the family. And also, not just on the outside, but also on the inside, as Anne was saying, that each person in the couple needs to work on themselves, and because also the relationship between the two needs to work on, because whatever sort of games are being played, whatever whatever sort of patterns which are detrimental to the communication in the relationship, that can blow up, as many of you might have experienced. When a child is born into a family, into a couple, often the worst parts, because under stress, your stress patterns show up. So in neon lights, all the worst parts of you come out because you're tired, you're exhausted, you're not getting enough sleep, blah, 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 blah. And that can really break up a relationship. A lot of people can say that the birth of the first child or successive children, that's when they can say that their relationship started to break down. So it's really important that the couple work on themselves and work on their relationship so that there is a conscious welcoming of this child into a family where the communication is good, where people know how to handle their stress. They have stress management techniques under their sleeves. Because as Anne started to say, but I rudely interrupted her, but this belongs in conception actually, the moment of conception, whatever games, however the mother and the father are feeling, and whatever the relationship is, whatever the communication is at that moment, according to Ayurveda, determines the personality of the baby. That's pretty heavy. That's a pretty heavy thing. So we want to make sure that they've worked on themselves in the preconception, not only physically cleansing, but also, having a good clean out of all that excess baggage which gets in our way of communication and feeling happy. And the stress patterns are we have ways to deal with that. So that's conception. And my favorite
tips?
The favorite
tips?
Yeah, the favorite tip is, well, because this is hosted by Sri Sri Tattva, I would say they've got some beautiful oils. So you can use some aromatherapy oil. Just choose your favorite smells and make that beautiful, sacred, holy environment lovely smelling as well. Over to the next speaker, which is Preeti.
Wanda. Pretty.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the conception, the pregnancy, and the delivery. So I'll together might be more than 5 minutes. And Sue and Anne has beautifully explained about the preconception. The main philosophy of Ayurveda is if you need a very good fruit, you need to have a good seed, you need to have a good land, you need to have a good environment, then you will expect a good seed, a good fruit. So preconception in Ayurveda is all about organizing all the material, the potency of the seed, which is not just physical, the mental and spiritual well-being of two parents as well. Now, when we talk about the pregnancy, when after conceiving, in Ayurveda, we say the mother and baby share the strongest bond with together. What mother eats, what mother smells, what mother looks, what mother listens, this all just not nurture the mother, but it also nurture the baby. And that's why there is a very good Garbhini Paricharya, means the lifestyle and food choices for the mother during the pregnancy. So I'm really, really excited to share very deep knowledge when I will talk about that topic on August, but I'll definitely share some of the tips right now. So, when mother is happy, when she's content, of course, she can grow the best kid or best child under her womb. But if mother is stressed out, if she's not eating well, if she's watching horror movie or might be very stimulating activities, it does not disturb her, increasing the palpitation, but according to Ayurveda, it can somewhere disturb the child as well. So the pregnancy care is totally about what mother should listen, what mother should watch, what mother should eat to grow the best child. So many times the best child is not just in terms of healthy or weight, it's beyond that. So it's like the kid or the child should be mentally strong, should be emotionally strong, So nowadays we see many kids, they born with hyperactivity or a dry skin or digestion issues, or they're emotionally very weak and sensitive. According to Ayurveda, it has some seeds from the preconception through the pregnancy as well. So when we are expecting from a best child, we have to work on our holistic approach as well. So in the first trimester in Ayurveda, we say the mother should eat sweet, cold, and liquid diet. So the sweet, it means the mother, means Madhur, Sheet, and Laghar. Madhur means sweet, Sheet means cold, and the Laghu means liquid. And if we logically think, the first trimester, when most of the female has a nausea, vomiting, right? How can they digest the heavy meal? Same time, it's the time when the heat and air is so much inside. Sometimes the new mom are so stressed or fearful or anxious about getting pregnant. They don't feel any symptoms, but they want to connect. And that time, some of the vata and pitta doshas get imbalanced. So the best thing at that time, they should eat the easily digestible food, the cold food. So that ghee is considered the best in taking first trimester. And our Shri Tattva has a very good ghee. So that can help in the pregnancy, in conception, and even the first trimester. When we talk about the second trimester, in Ayurveda, we say that's the time when the heart develops into the fetus. So that's the Dora Dayavastha, means two hearts. Now only mother is not there. The child heart is also developed. So that's the time when mother started having the cravings. And at that time, the father or even all the family members should listen the craving of a mother and try to fulfill it. Because it might be not just mother's craving, it's the child craving as well. So such a beautiful, even not only just what the herbs you should take or food you should take, it's beyond that how you can make mother happy through the three trimester or through the pregnancy. Even in the second trimester, it's a local massage of the oya, which we call as a pinkatelam. Our Shri Tattva has that range. So just to prevent the stretch marks, from the third, fourth month, you start applying that on a regular routine. And the last trimester, when mother is like full, have a grown baby, she become like overloaded fruits and flowers on the tree. And mother should feel like that because womb now is just grown and the child take most of the space. So that time, again, the food should be very light, easily digestible, and mother should prepare herself to have a normal birth, which includes certain type of yoga, certain types of food, because that way you can strengthen the lower body muscles. So this whole is, we call it as a Garbhini Paricharya, and to listen that more, stay tuned with us. At the same time, when we talk about the delivery, in Ayurveda, I always say that birth and death is just as he planned and he decided, right? But at the same time, we have much fear about having a normal delivery or the pain through that, or even it will be cesarean section. So in our AMI program, we try to deal with all the individuals' thoughts and even their fear, and try to help them to go through this birth process very smoothly and easily. It can be a normal birth in medical hospital or a system. It can be home birth with doula, or it can be cesarean section. Whatever the way it is, we try to make to give the mother the best environment to connect with the child. Even in Ayurveda, I say that the girl or a female go through 4 cycles, like 4 birth. The first is her real birth. The second is pregnancy, during the pregnancy. The third, just after delivery. And the fourth is the menopause. Instantly, overnight, your body change. So that called as a Sutika Paricharya. So I would really want you to meet us on our next session as well, which is more about the after conception, or sorry, after delivery, how mother should take care of herself so she can strengthen the body, she can connect with mother and baby, both can connect very easily, and what is the father role and family role in it. And at the end, I'll just share the tips that it is the nature, so universe. So of course the meditation is needed. The other most important thing is connection with the nature. So in this real world, I would say that seek some of the moment, even you are pregnant or you are doing preconception or you are having a baby. Just few 4 to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just to spend some moments outside, listening to the birds, listening to the water sound, or just take a deep breath and just nourish, rejuvenate, so you can balance your holistic health nicely.
Preeti,
Yes.
which is the 4th birth you mentioned? You mentioned 4 births, but we didn't hear the last one.
Menopause.
Oh, menopause. Okay.
Yeah, because all the hormones, everything, the whole physical, mental, emotional health of the female changed. So these 4 stages, we have to take care of ourselves very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Preeti, for your really enlightened talk. And I'm sure many of us will be happy to join you on your, how do you say, more developed talk. And that's going to happen August 28th, remember? Yeah? And September 25th again. Okay? And now yeah?
Most welcome.
And now we'll give the talk to Wanda. Wanda?
Yes, hello.
Ready
Hello,
to join
everyone. Yes, I'm so grateful to be in AMI team. Especially, I start my journey into Ayurveda with amazing Anne and Liz. So I'm very privileged to be part of this team. And 11 years ago, the idea to help the new moms after delivery came to me in Canada. So it took me five years to start to put everything into to study postpartum care, and postpartum care is really needed in every country. Whenever I'm traveling, even recently I've been to Greece and I spoke with new moms. They just delivered the baby and they said the medical care, almost there is nothing after delivery. So I'm so glad that we can offer online program, do-it-yourself program to every woman in the world. And according to Ayurveda, the 42 days after delivery can affect 42 years. So you can imagine what you can do to yourself, how you can support your body, your health for the rest of the life. So 42 days after delivery is the most powerful time. And also, as you know, if the mom is happy, the whole house is happy for some reason. So very often after delivery, the whole attention is going to the child. But to be honest, if the mother is strong, if the mother is happy, there is no problem with lactation, there is less stress. So it's very important to make sure that mother is strong. And I'm very happy to to support all the women. And also it's such a great journey that the newborn, the new baby, can experience Ayurveda from the beginning of their life. So the Ayurveda can be with baby from the beginning. That's very, very beautiful. And what else? Oh, and my favorite tip. I think so. My favorite tip. I'm always love to say routine, which is sounds almost like something impossible after delivery, but if you put routine as much as you can after delivery, it makes such a easiest way. And also the routine, it's like a frame. So as much routine as you can. It can be very small, like 5 minutes breathing technique, 5 minutes meditation, but doing at the same time because the mind loves routine. And also something very small, you can apply sesame oil on the sole of the foot before going to bed. This also will calm the mind and also helps with the rejuvenate during the sleep. And 23rd of October, I will give a longer talk about the postpartum care, also with the hospitality of Sri Sri Tattva.
Wonderful, Wanda. Thank you so much for your
Thank
talk. So I think what we're going to do now is see if there's any questions from our
Yes.
participants.
Yes.
Sorry?
We have one more. We have Sue to talk about toddlers.
Oh, yes, sorry. Toddlers. Sue, please come on.
Thank you. Yes, there was, so just a few little things to say about AMI. So we've got 6 different sections. We have preconception, which Anne spoke about. We have conception, which I spoke about. We have pregnancy, which Priti spoke about. We have birth, which Priti spoke about. We have the first 6 weeks, which we're calling postpartum, which Wanda spoke about. And then the very last stage, which Ami covers, is the first 2-3 years of the baby's life. And we're sort of lumping that into the word toddler, but it's not really toddler because it starts with the 7th week after the baby's born. The first 6 weeks, as Wanda was saying, are absolutely crucial for not only the baby, but also the mother. So for both of them, those 42 days determine the next 42 years of both of their lives. So each one of those days, of those 42 days, is so important, representing a year in each of their lives to get the proper care. And we have a sort of what is it called? Anagram, is that right? DROME. So diet, rest, routine, oleation, and massage, DROME. Those 5 factors are really, really essential for this postpartum care, which, as Anne said earlier, is what the doctors are calling the black hole of medicine, is that postpartum care. And as Wanda was saying, so many women just don't get the care they need during that postpartum period. You know, they're thinking, oh, how soon can I get into my jeans? And all their attention goes to the baby. But actually, as Wanda was saying, this is also in the pregnancy, the father, we've been talking so much about the mother and then of the baby, but the father has a very key role to play, both in the pregnancy, well, of course, in conception, and also it's important that he goes through preconception cleaning as well, because not only is the egg important, but the sperm equally important. So, and then in postpartum, the father is the glue that holds the whole program together. So he has a crucial role, whereas a lot of men feel like, oh, you know, I used to be number one. Now where am I? All their attention's going to the baby. Where's my loved one? and the whole dynamics of a relationship has to take a new footing. So to be given a role, to have a clear role for the father is so helpful and important, and really makes this whole making a family very smooth and very key. So for this time period after the 6 weeks, and we go into the toddler, what we're going to call toddler, but say the first 2 or 3 years of a baby's birth, a lot of things happen. So the first thing, one of the first things that happens is the baby starts to get teeth. So Ayurveda has a wonderful way of weaning, because when you think about what's happening in weaning, that the baby is starting to seed the digestive system with the proper microbiome. So you want to build very gently, very kindly, if you're going to make a fire, you don't suddenly put on a big log. You have to kindle that fire with very small sticks of kindling and dry wood and dry leaves and things like that. You kindle the digestive system. And that's what we do in the Ayurveda approach to weaning. And then there's, of course, there's toilet training. That's a whole nother issue in that first 2-3 years. How do you teach the child to become aware of when it has to go wee and poo, and how do you get it to use a toilet? So there's Ayurveda's got some wonderful tips for that. And then there's baby carrying. The mother's been carrying the baby around inside the womb, then gives birth, and then those 6 weeks she's mostly resting, but then she gets up and she starts to move around. And how do you carry? What is the attention that you need for the posture, and what's the best kind of way to carry this baby, on the front, on the hip, on the side, and the back, and also giving care to the head, which is so heavy and floppy. The baby doesn't have the muscles yet to hold that, and you can really damage the spine if you don't take care in the right way. So then the next thing that happens, of course, is the baby is rolling over, it's going on its hands and knees, it's crawling, and then it becomes ambulatory, and the baby's getting into everything. Everything is being opened and explored. So how does Ayurveda approach that becoming ambulatory? There are lots of wonderful tips on that. And then there's brain development. So how do you encourage the maximum growth and development for this very key point in the development of the baby's brain of so much neuroplasticity? How do you encourage the connections? How do you encourage the right connections? How do you build that emotional bond? The baby feels confident and that it has some control over its environment. What do you do when the baby's crying? Do you just let it cry? Some people say let it cry. Or do you nourish it? Do you hold it? Do you even if it's crying and crying and crying, you give it some attention and let it know you're not alone. Don't be afraid. We're here for you. So, and then the whole issue of the family bed. There are things about the Ayurveda has to say about that. What do you think? Should the baby be in the bed with the family, or should it be next to the bed, or should it have its own room? And at what point do you move the baby from the parents' room out into its own room? So all these sorts of ideas. Also, of course, the baby is exposed to lots of different germs and has to build a strong immune system. How do you do that? Well, lots of different things. So as the teeth grow in weaning, and then the teeth grow up and have to be brushed, do you give it milk and then it goes to bed, and then the milk sits on those teeth and then those teeth rot? Or do you start brushing the teeth? So the favorite tip for this section is Siddhanta's product Ayurveda's Sri Tattva's Ayurveda product, Siddhanta toothpaste. So it's a really nice toothpaste that can be used. It doesn't have nasty things in it, but it's good for the teeth, for these new teeth that are coming up, so that you can decrease the number of cavities and increase the healthiness of the gums and the teeth. So over to you, Elizabeth.
Lovely. Sue, can you just repeat very quickly what DRUM stands for? There's a few people who didn't quite catch it.
Yeah.
Diet, routine.
Okay, I will put it up here for you.
Umbrella.
because sometimes we need a visual. Some people are visual learners and they like to see things. So if we say Drome, D, and then R, R, O, M. So D stands for diet. R stands for rest. R stands for routine. O stands for oleation. And M stands for massage. As Wanda was saying, the mother can learn a massage for herself, but she can also learn a wonderful massage for the baby. And it really helps stimulate the baby's growth. And it's the first touch that the first language that a baby has is touch. So massage is key to building all of those wonderful confidence and belonging and love. And they've used massage in orphans where the children don't get very much touch, and it dramatically increases their sense of well-being, self-confidence, and feeling loved.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, as you see, there's a huge amount of knowledge to acquire. And, maybe for most of us, it comes naturally, but for some of us, it's like, whoa. So we have all these lovely specialists there who've put their heart into all this, sharing all this beautiful knowledge. So I'm really going to encourage you to meet them again. So Anne will be talking on preconception on June 26th. Sue will be talking again about conception on July 31st. Vaidya Priti Patel will be talking about pregnancy on August 28th, and then on birth on September 25th. Wanda will be talking about postpartum and hear how good she is, October 23rd, and Sue again will be talking about the young person, toddler's years, in November 27th. So you have a whole program in front of you to just enjoy and go with. It's just a beautiful knowledge. So if you have any question, it would be the time. I'm happy to pick up the chat. And can we do any courses related to AMI? Who wants to answer this one? Anne, do you want to answer?
Yes. Let me just get rid of the chat in front of my face. Yeah, we at the moment are developing the DIY programs, but the next one after that is going to be programs online to train women or men even to help in all this work. I am at the moment in August actually going to trial run the first training in massage online. I think I've found a way to do it. I'll be working with 2 or 3 people in Montreal on that actually. Juliet's one of them. They've decided to be guinea pigs for me. And I have a great sense it's going to work. If we can get hold of that obstacle and we know that works, then the whole program for training that we've been doing in Quebec live can go online, and that will make a big difference, make a huge difference. So maybe by September, October, we'll probably be up and running to teach you how to help. Okay, the other thing we're looking for as well with when you go into this work is to think broader than just you going in and giving these programs to a few women. Think about being part of a team in a city. You'll have such valuable knowledge there, and you can easily get very well overwhelmed by the amount of people who need your services. But if we work as a team, then that is spread, and you've got the support of the team as well. Maybe somebody would like to teach baby massage, another will go into diet, somebody else might like to cook meals for people, set up a little business even doing that. There's so many facets to this, and teamwork like that is just so rewarding, and it supports everybody. Okay?
Good. Anybody would like to add anything? Vaidya Priti, would you like to say a few more words before we close? Oops.
Stay well, eat well, enjoy life. Everything happens, but stay tuned with nature. Try to be grounded, and as I say, meditate. When you pray from heart, he listen.
Okay.
Can I
Well,
add something, Liz, before we
yes,
close? Yeah, on June the 5th, the IHAV, our umbrella organization that cares for us and promotes us, they have their AGM. We call it a yearly meet, where we can showcase all the programs that we do. There's not just ours, but there's lots of other projects too. So we'll be there showcasing. If anybody would like to join us there, they're very, very welcome to come on board and see what we're up to and how the whole system works and comes together. Okay, so if you want that, we can put our AMI address on the chat. If you write to us there, we can send you more information about that. Okay.
So Anne, can you tell me what your AMI address is?
Yeah, it's AMI, A-M-I.
AMI at
A-I-A-H-V.
A.
Get it right. I-A-H-V.
I-A-H-V.
At. Sorry, we've got the .org.
hv.org.
.uk. Yeah.
Oh, it's all, oh gosh, I made it wrong. It's all capital letters.
No, it's come out. Oh, Nea's put it in. It's okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Nea. You're struggling less than I do.
And we've got loads of them there now. Yeah. Everybody's put them in. You can't miss it.
Okay. Dot or hyphen? Dot.
Dots. Yeah.
Dots. All dots.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
can I say something?
Question to Sue about toddler, about the sleep training. How should we train toddlers, whether to put them to sleep with us or in a separate room? How do you decide? And what's the best method?
Yeah. Well, this is just a little taster, 5-minute taster about all of these things. And more details will be given in our hour-long sessions for each of these topics. And also in addition, if you want to really go into details and learn how to massage the baby or how to give yourself a mother massage or really want to go into the details of the diet, then you can sign up for our paid programs to get all the details of each of these things.
I'm just thinking, Sue, the answer to that problem doesn't get answered till November. How can we help people now who've got babies where they're trying to sort it out? Maybe they could write to us and we can come up with some solutions. Yeah, we don't want to leave them stranded.
So yes, if you'd like to be part of this wonderful team and help spread the knowledge, please get on AMI's, connect with us on AMI. And you want to give AMI's email?
No, we've got it. They've got it on chat.
They've got it on chat. Perfect.
ami@ihav.co.uk.
So if you want to connect with us, just contact us and we'll make sure we answer you, of course.
Whether you're interested in training or you've got specific problems or whatever, we'll
yes,
be there.
Or you're happy to come and be part of the team and help spread this knowledge, for sure. Okay. A live one, Annette wants to do a live 1 hour a question and answer so people can come with existing client questions.
Yes, I was just suggesting that as an idea to help people who have questions now, like Anne was raising the question. Just an idea.
Say that again. Have a
Nice
to-
idea. Nice
Live
idea.
1 hour question and answer session.
Yeah, just like a format like this, a 1 hour, you can set a date and have anyone come on just to, if there's any questions that people have right now, like you were worried about that, Anne, so it wouldn't have to.
Yeah, thank you, Annette. Yeah, let me, we'll speak with the team and we can send out, you'll need to link with us at AMI if you want to have questions with us though, because we don't have your email addresses through Sri Sri Tattva. There's a protocol that doesn't give out addresses, email addresses, so we won't have them. So if you want to contact us, just click into AMI, the email we've given you, and we can go from there to make
Yeah,
it
we can
easier.
see how we can support you for sure.
I've also put the website link as part of IAHV, International Association of Human Values UK,
Very
with the AMI page there is in the chat. And then there's a question from Priya Ramdu. How can those who suffer from postnatal depression benefit from your services? And this is the whole thing about DROME, diet, rest, routine, oleation, and massage. Those 5 things, the women that follow our program, they don't suffer from postnatal depression. But these 5 things are absolutely crucial. And in order to do these things,
And they work.
it requires a paradigm shift of this postpartum period. It really is. If you look back over history and you look at our ancestors and you look at all the old cultures, they all have this period of, they have different names, but for this period of 6 weeks of just rest, of staying at home, of, well, in England, it was, you had this time period, and the name is escaping me at this time, but after those 6 weeks, then you can go to church. But during those 6 weeks, everybody would bring you food and you just stayed at home. And also for the immune system of the baby, they're not exposed to everybody else and everybody coming and going. So this period throughout history has been a period of rest and special foods, and that in itself has caused, we don't have that anymore. And so we need to return to that, and that requires a paradigm shift. And when that happens, then for sure this postnatal depression will decrease dramatically.
There's one question there, Sue. I think you better, would you like to take that one on to what age Ayurvedic advice to breastfeed?
It's an interesting one, actually. What Ayurveda says is the fact that the teeth are erupting, and that the fact that the baby gets teeth and then has opposing sets of teeth is an indication that the system is ready to go onto solid food. So by the time a baby is 1 year old, they have their teeth in and their opposing teeth, and they're able to chew and to eat and to digest. So the DNA is able to unmask the enzymes that are required for the digestion of any foods that you put in there. But there's a special sequence to doing that. So about 1 year is what Ayurveda recommends. But of course, it's all individually dependent on the baby's development and their teeth and their opposing teeth.
There's another question for one of you. What are the special foods we need to eat before conception and post-delivery? I mean, you're ready to take a course, huh? That's obvious. So, of course, we can't answer all these questions right now because they're exactly what we're addressing when we're teaching the courses. And it's you know, it's not a one answer. It's a, as you know, Ayurveda has three kinds of body. Oh, I'm losing my words. Body types, and so the special foods are different for every person. So you need to understand which are the special foods for you. Okay. So somebody's saying, I don't see the courses listed on the website. Will you be emailing us the details? Who is answering this one?
Yes, I can answer that one. Yes, we'll be sending you details through. We've got everything sort of blowing up at the moment, and it's a question of manpower. We need help, basically. I need a really, really good part-time secretary to get this out fast. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit slow, because we're all in different parts of the world. We've all got full-time jobs as well. And it's a challenge, but we're getting there. But I'd like to be a lot faster. So come on, help.
Next question, does Ayurveda has any guidelines how many years of difference one should have between two kids?
Well, this
Priti,
also,
would you like to answer this one? Oh, sorry.
Priti, do you want to do this one?
Priti there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Particular in Ayurvedic textbook, you can't see that how much difference there should be between two kids. But of course, once mother's body heal completely from the first birth, and when you are ready physically, mentally, emotionally for the another baby, that's the right time.
Very good.
The fertility, basically, in female health, it started from 20 to 40, max 45. In Ayurveda, we say where there is the fertile ovum, a very strong young ovum, a female can produce. So I would say 20 to 40 is a good lifespan to plan a baby. Max by 45, it's good, but anywhere when you feel confident, Ayurveda say you are ready and we can help you.
Very good. Okay. Well, thank you very much to all of you for answering all these questions. And I hope all of you have really enjoyed all the knowledge that was shared tonight. And please feel free to link with us and get more about all this beautiful knowledge. Okay.